Monday. Every day will be Friday, no. We got just to celebrate, oh. Like saying now you're Biden, no. My baby in one day.
Hello. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nzali, and this is Nzali Takes Africa. I'm super excited that you are joining me here today. I do not take it for granted that you are taking time out of your day or your evening to come and rock with a sister and show me support and really just hear what I have to say. Like, I definitely don't take that for granted. If you are new to this channel, don't worry. I am Nzali. I have been living on the African continent since 2015. Can you imagine such a long time? Like, the time has just gone by so fast. But first, I was in South Africa as a Peace Corps volunteer. Later on, I moved to Ghana, and now I am a citizen of Ghana, and I help millennial women create the life that they deserve while living on the African continent. So if that sounds good to you, you are in the right space. You have found the right community. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. For those who have already subscribed, you can become a member of the channel, and we're going to keep it rolling like that. Just like that. Just like that. So keeping in line with the series that I have been talking about, which is dating in Africa, this is one of those hot topics that everybody sends me questions about. All my ladies, this is for my ladies. They always send me questions about what is it like dating in Africa? How did you find your partner? What are they scammers? Are they not scammers? Do they have enough money to take care of you? Like, I mean, there's so many questions. Oh, something's in my eye. Y'all see that? I don't know what that is. Nonetheless, people are always asking me those questions. So I figured, let me just bring my response and my thoughts to YouTube so that it's out there and, you can take it, you can use it, you can push it to the side, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Okay. All right. So in this particular video, I'm going to talk about some of the green flags. 5 green flags when it comes to dating a African man. These are good signs. Okay, oftentimes people want to talk about all the bad signs, all the things to look out for, but we also need to know what are the good signs, the things that let you know, okay, he's serious. He's really into me. He really is taking this thing seriously. He wants to do, he's here for the long haul. Sorry, that's my dog, y'all. He's here for the long haul, right? What should I be looking for? So that's what we're going to deep dive into today. I hope you're ready. Okay, so let's get right into the 5 green flags when it comes to dating African men. I have written them down, so I might be looking off to the side. That's just because I'm looking at my notes. Okay, I also want to preface this by saying I'm not a relationship coach. I am not a counselor. Okay, I'm a former teacher who has really good and acute observation skills. I have a lot of lived experience in this area, and I have a lot of women who I've been in community with who also have had this lived and shared experience. So that is where I'm pulling my information from, my anecdotal observations and notes. All right. Also, I want to preface this by saying we are talking about the rule, not the exceptions. Oftentimes in the Black community, we get so caught up on the exceptions as a way to deflect from the topic at hand. We're talking about the rule. We're talking in a generalized sense. We are talking about the majority of men. We're not talking about your one exceptional husband, okay? Your one exceptional boyfriend. We're not talking about him. We're talking about the general populations. All right, let's get to it. So the very first green flag when it comes to dating an African man is he has a desire, a will, and the capability to take care of you. African men have been taught to show a woman, to show her family that you are serious about her, is that you take on the responsibility of taking care of her. Okay, financially, you're going to support her in your household. You're going to support your children. You're going to support her dreams and aspirations. You're going to also support her family when and if it is needed. So if he is serious about you, if you know this is something that's going to go for the long haul, he will take a very keen interest in taking care of you. Now, my sisters, I know a lot of us get caught up in capitalistic ways of thinking and material things. And you're thinking, oh, so he got to make $100,000 and blah, blah, blah. That's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is with whatever he makes, whether that's $100,000, $50,000, $25,000, whatever it is that he makes. The African man has been trained to give some to you, to take care of the household that you all share together. So he's not going to be stingy with his money. He's not going to be stingy with how he looks after you and your children. This is one of those things that's going to let you know he's really serious about me. He's not going to be looking to you to do those things. He's going to naturally be inclined to do those things with whatever amount of resource he has. He will share that with you. So that's one of the really, really good signs that you want to look out for. Does he show me signs that he is willing, has the desire, and is capable of taking care of me and the children that will come later? Okay. The second green flag that I want to mention to you all is he doesn't make his culture the default or dominant culture in your household. So basically what happens is you're coming from let's say a Canadian background, right? Born and raised in Canada. There's a culture for the space that you have grown up in. Let's say he is from Burkina Faso. He has probably a heavily Muslim influenced cultural background that he's coming from. Now you all have come together. If every time there is a time to make a decision, if every time there may be a little disagreement, if he defaults to what my culture trumps your culture, if that's where he goes every single time you all kind of hit a tough point, that's not it, sis. But if he's willing to say, okay, let me hear from your perspective, how do these things usually go? In your culture, how do these things usually come to a resolve? If he's willing to hear what you're saying, understand your culture, respect it in certain instances, and also be equal and balanced in whose culture will be the dominant culture at what given time. If he's willing to do that, that is a green flag, sis. I almost think that's the most supreme flag, right? Because it's not as common as you would think. But that right there lets you know that man is willing to compromise. He's willing to get to know you on a real level, not just on a level that shows how you best serve him and what he has going on. He's really considering who you are as a person. That also means that you'll be able to pass down some of your cultural know-how to your children without conflict or too much conflict. So that is a really good sign that you want to definitely be looking out for. Making sure that he's open to your culture just as much as you are open to his culture. The good parts, right? Because every culture has good and bad. But the good parts of your culture and where you're coming from, he should also be equally open to digesting the same way you are for him. All right, so that leads us to our third green flag that you're looking for when you're dating an African man, and that means that he already has a pathway to live outside. When I say a pathway, that could be a sibling, that could be an auntie that lives in the UK, that could be a job opportunity in China, that could be going to graduate school. He's been accepted to graduate school in the US. That means that he has another way to get to a Western country that doesn't involve you. Whether you are in the picture or not, he has a pathway to get to those spaces with or without you. And the reason that that's a good green flag is because that relieves you of the idea, of the notion, of the thought, of the feeling that, is he using me? Does he just want me for a passport or a green card? That relieves you of that, sis. That frees you up. You don't even have to worry about it because you're like, if he wanted that, he could have did that with this person. Or he could have, he could have sought asylum with these people, or he could have, gone to graduate school. I might have met him in DC. Like, it just takes a lot of the pressure of wondering about that in the back of your head. That's one thing you can check off your list. Like, he don't really need me to go to the States. He don't need me to go to Canada. He don't need me to go to the UK or Germany or wherever the place is. That's a good sign. Okay. That also is going to let you know that that man, if he wants to do something, he will make a plan and collect the resources to do it with or without you. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign, because that means if you all are together and y'all have a goal, he's going to create a plan of action and he's going to execute that thing and make sure that it happens for y'all. So that's one of those green flags that trickle into other characteristics of a person that you definitely want to pay attention to. All right, so I think we're at number 4, right? So the fourth green flag that you want to think about when you are dating or looking to date an African man is, let me check my notes, okay? Oh, he can express himself to you. A lot of the times, our African brothers are more internal with the things that are going on with them, whereas women from the West are a lot more expressive, right? And our expressiveness can sometimes cause them to kind of go into shutdown mode, especially if there's confrontation. Instead of going back and forth with you, a lot of African men will just kind of go silent, shut down. But if he, knowing that you are expressive, is also willing to express himself with you, tell you what he's thinking, tell you what he's feeling, tell you what his aspirations are, things that most of the time they wouldn't really tell their partner. If he's willing to be more vulnerable and open with you, that is a really, really good sign. Honestly, I think that's a good sign across the board for all men, but specifically, if you get an African man to open up to you in that capacity, and he's not telling you that because he wants you to fix something for him, he's just sharing, golden. Golden, sis, you have hit the jackpot. This is a man you can build something with. And with all that being said, down to the final green flag for a woman who is from the diaspora, a foreigner who is trying to date an African man. The final green flag is that he is not rushing you. He is not pressuring you to say that you love him before you actually love him. He's not pressuring you to get married. He's not pressuring you to have children. He's not pressuring you to help him start up his business. He is really giving himself a chance to get to know you, to get to know your family, to get to know your personality, your temperament, and he also wants you to do the same for him. He wants you to get an opportunity to get to know him. That is an amazing sign. You know, I believe in a previous video I talked about the concept of rushing, of moving too fast. Moving too fast is a killer for relationships. And if you have, or if you're dating an African man who is constantly pushing, adding on the pressure, he's not serious. A good African man is really gonna want to get to know you. And if I'm being real honest, he's really gonna be peeping out your family. He's really gonna be peeping out your family dynamics, how you all relate, what type of vibes do your family have, what do they do for a living. That he's gonna be looking at all those things, and he's also expecting that you're looking at those things. Because keep in mind that Africans is families marrying families. It's not two individuals, right? So in order for a family to marry a family, you can't be rushing unless it's a prearranged marriage, which by that time both families have done the research anyway. And also keep that in mind. African families research each other before they say, okay, yeah, marry my daughter, marry my son. No, they want to know who your people be. Okay, they want to know where you come from, and that takes time. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful part of the courtship, which is really, really getting to know each other, especially because you also are coming from two different cultures. So there's just so much to get to know about each other, about your backgrounds, that I think taking that little bit of extra time to not rush and to really go deep into getting to know each other will definitely set up a proper foundation for a wonderful, loving relationship and marriage. All right, lovely people, thank you so much for rocking with me. I hope you found these 5 green flags for dating an African man useful. I'm hoping that if you are entertaining an African man, that you've seen some of these flags, because these are definitely good signs that you are with a good person and that y'all heading down the right path to success, happiness, love, and happiness. Something make you do right. Is that the words? Oh, do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Love and happiness. Okay. All right, I'm done. I'm done with that. Again, don't forget to like this video, Share the video with your homegirls. All right. Let them know the green flags as well. Also, make sure if you have not already that you subscribe to this channel. If you are already subscribed to the channel, become a member today. That's where you get the uncut, raw, realest of the real Nzali. Okay. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Nzali Takes Africa. And until next time, I will see you all. Bye. See you in the comments.